Grand opening, grand closing. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend is YouTube Streets Puerto77. And this is the first video to kick off 2024. Before I get to it, I just want to say a Happy New Year's, to everyone. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday with friends and family. Wherever part in the world, whatever you celebrate, just hopefully, 2023 ended on a good note for many of you. For those that didn't, for those that with 2023 wasn't too kind, I hope things are better for you in 2024. I hope that potentially 2023 can be used as an experience to use as something to push forward, and that your future endeavors just end up better. But hopefully for everybody, 2024 just brings better, more, and more success to everyone. All right, but ultimately I hope everyone ended off 2023 in an enjoyable, safe manner. And again, for those that 2023 wasn't so great, hopefully 2024, brings to you what 2023 didn't. Now, to the video. This is primarily to the PlayStation fans, right? If you're a fan of PlayStation and you enjoy playing on PlayStation, this is going to be my first advice for you guys, right? Because you guys really need to hear this, okay? We're in year 4 of the gen. Right? Consoles launch, Xbox, PlayStation. PlayStation launched in November 2020. 2021 is the first year. 2022 is the second year. 2023 is the third year. We're now in year 4. At this point, it's already done. The generation is locked in. Unless there's some type of disaster, nothing's going to change. The decision's done. The console war's over. Okay? Any chance of the environment, this generation pivoting into a different direction, the signs would already been there. It's too late for that right now. Right now, the train left the station. It's going to go in the direction it's going to go. The only change you're going to see is when the new generation begins. But from now up until that point, everything's set in its ways. So what does that mean? Why am I telling you guys this? Because everything's locked. It's over. The game is done. The console war is over. There's nothing that's going to drastically change anything. At this point, it's really just comes down to just enjoying the games. Whatever your platform is, your preferred platform. Whatever game comes to that platform is what comes. What's not coming to it is not coming to it. There's nothing that can be adjusted or changed or influenced. Pretty much the world made their decision. They either already have the console that they got, or they're about to get the console that they want. Nothing's really going to drastically change unless something, again, earth-shattering happens. It's going to fly the way it flies. And because of that, the only thing left in gaming in terms of having conversation or console war or even serious conversation has to be made up. And at this point, that's all you're going to get. You're just going to get the haters of PlayStation. They're going to conduct themselves no different than flat earthers. So you're going to see, you've already seen a lot of flat earther type comments, flat earther type conversations, and that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get, best way I could put it, you're not going to get good faith conversations. None of the conversations from here on out is going to be based on good faith. No one's interested in facts, right? The haters of PlayStation, they're not. They're just going to keep making up stuff, and any conversation or point they make is going to be based on just nonsense, and they're going to try to draw you into that nonsense. And I'm just going to tell you, right? Because the conversation is based on flat earther stupidity, you're not going to have an honest debate with any of these guys. because the debate is not grounded from facts or whatever. They're just going to make up stuff and they're all going to corral together and stick with that. And the reason why that's going to happen is because they know the gen's pretty much a ramp, right? So at this point, the haters only have two options. They accept reality or they make up stuff to cope with reality. And that's their only two choices, right? The actual real gamers, they're going to accept reality and, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with saying, yeah, PlayStation right now is the de facto console brand, but I don't like it. That's not the brand for me. I'm going to enjoy this brand. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it's a personal preference of what you enjoy, but that doesn't mean you have to live in fantasy world or make up a reality that doesn't exist to compensate on why your preferred brand isn't the most preferred. It's okay to say, hey, my preferred brand is just not the one most people like, and it is what it is. You move on from it. But a lot of people can't accept that. A lot of people can't accept that the brand they prefer is not the brand the majority prefers. It's not the brand the rest of the world doesn't really care about because they feel it's a slight on them personally. And they don't want to associate their personal life with a failing brand. So they're creating this made up nonsense. And you already see it. Number one, you already see now apparently none of Sony's first party is financially viable. Somehow Sony keeps making first party games when first party games not making money for them. That's weird, right? That's a weird business strategy, right? Two, you're starting to see now more than ever, people don't really buy PlayStation for first party games. They do it for multiplats. No one really cares about first party games. It's funny though how PlayStation gets that stigma. Every other console throughout the history of gaming, they get the privilege of, oh, people like those consoles because they're exclusives. But PlayStation's the odd console out where nobody likes exclusive. It's always been the multiplats. Weird. And with that, I present to you this image. So Sony provided this image. This is live on the website. And you could click on it and they'll tell you the top 3 most games played, right? So let me put this in bigger. So let's say right here, this is America. You click on this and you'll see in the United States, the top 3 games, played is Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 5. And if you read here on the bottom, you probably can't read it, but I'll read it for you. It says rankings are based on total hours played across PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 console between the 1st of January 2023 and the 30th of November 2023, right? So this is where all that data is accumulated from. So this is across the whole map. And we'll pick another one. This is Canada right over here. In Canada, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's go over to the UK. You got Fortnite, FIFA, and Call of Duty, right? This is South Africa. Fortnite, FIFA, Call of Duty. This is the United Arab Emirates. FIFA, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto. Let's go to, this is South Korea, Diablo 4, FIFA, Elden Ring. So very unique taste over there. This is Australia, Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA. So you pretty much see the same games. It's a combination of either FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, and Fortnite, right? Fortnite's a free to play, so that generally will be number 1 in most areas, right? You don't even have to buy it. And then FIFA is like the world sport. So you're going to see that a lot, right? Funny enough, in America, you don't see Madden. Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Grand Theft Auto takes the spot, right? So in terms of sports, FIFA is probably the number 1 sport above anything else. You don't even see 2K out here. So FIFA is the world sport. It's just, I mean, you got to admit, soccer is the world sport. It is the number 1 popular sport in the world. And right here, Fortnite right there, right? So you see these games across. Now, this is weird because this area right here is like Germany, whatever, but it keeps referencing United Kingdom. So I don't know if it's kind of messed up. Like this is Spain, Portugal, but when you click on it, oh yeah, Spain right here. Okay, so this one's correct. So you see, for the most part, the popular games is a combination of Fortnite, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, or something like that. So why am I presenting this to you? Because the flat earthers type are using this to weaponize the thought of no one cares about PlayStation games because this is what they really play. The problem with that flawed logic is this. The metric, and it says it on the bottom, rankings are based on total hours played across PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 console. So you're talking about games that have multiplayer that you can play all throughout the years and it's never ending. It doesn't end. It's perpetual because it's multiplayer. You will play Fortnite and you do the same thing over and over and over for hundreds of thousands of hours. Same thing with Call of Duty. Same thing with Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. You would just keep playing that repetitively. That's the point of the game. Single player games, which is primarily the main force of PlayStation, right? You can't really do that because single player games is finite. They are meant to end. You have a storyline. You're meant to complete the storyline. You're meant to beat the storyline. And then it's over. And then you move on to the next single player game. That's why guys like myself, we love single player games because it doesn't keep you stuck on just one style of the stuff. You get to go from a God of War. You get to go from Horizon Zero Dawn. You get to go from Infamous, from Spider-Man. You get to keep playing a whole bunch of games, get a whole different experiences, and enjoy various genres. And you just keep enjoying new flavor, right? That's just the type of games. The logic being presented is this. And look how flawed the logic is. Let's say you got a gamer who enjoys, let's use Call of Duty, right? You love Call of Duty, right? But at the same time, you also love other games. So let's say you played 5 PlayStation first party exclusives, whatever they are. And let's say they average 15 hours each. Let's just say, keep it something simple, right? Something that's, not egregious. And I'm not going to pad the stats or anything, okay? Let's just use this math, right? In fact, I got a calculator here. So let's say you got 5 games that you bought in 1 year, 5 exclusives. And you beat them all, and it took you on average of 15 each. So you spent 75 hours, right, in total to play a game. In fact, you know what? Let me make it even longer, right? Let's say 5 games. Let's say 20 hours each. Let's say you platinumed it, and each one's 5 hours. So you spend 100 hours playing 5 PlayStation exclusives. You bought 5. You beat 5. Those are the hours. Then you go back to Call of Duty, right? That one game, right? And let's say you put in like 300 hours playing that one game. Well, obviously, the 300 hours you put in Call of Duty trump the 5 combined hours you put into the single player first party games. The logic being presented is because you put in 300 hours of Call of Duty, the 5 games you beat doesn't matter no more. So they're using hours accumulated as the benchmark of the value and the relevance of the games, right? So you beat 5 PlayStation first party games, but because of the hours accumulated doesn't equal the 1 game of Call of Duty, those 5 first party don't matter. And that is a fundamentally stupid logic that I have ever heard. Because even if the 5 first party games do not accumulate Call of Duty, you still play those 5 games, and chances are those 5 games is the reason why you are playing Call of Duty on your PlayStation and not playing Call of Duty on any other brand. Because the other brand don't have other games aside from Call of Duty that you're interested into, right? So you can play Call of Duty on another brand, but if you don't like the exclusives that other brand offers, then all you're really going to do is Call of Duty. Or you could play Call of Duty on the brand you do prefer, because that brand has other games that are played. People are confusing the massive amount of hours you'll play in a Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, FIFA, whatever, and assuming that's the only thing those gamers are playing, which is most likely incorrect. The odds are of you buying a console and you're only playing 1 game and that's it, and that's all you play, is not likely. It's highly not likely, right? When you look at this stat right here, okay, this right here, and I'll zoom it in for you guys. This is some of the best-selling games, first-party games on the platform. If you noticed, PlayStation 4 is where it really started to shine, okay? In the top 10, best game sold, you only got one game from PlayStation 2, right? And one game from PlayStation 3. No game from the PlayStation 1 in the top 10. And oddly enough, the one game from the PlayStation 2 and the one game from the PlayStation 3 that are first party, that are a top seller, is Gran Turismo. There is no other game in the top 10 from PlayStation 3, 2, or 1. It's a Gran Turismo, right? And Gran Turismo is a beast. It is a powerhouse. It is PlayStation #1 franchise, okay? Right? So really, and I said this before, PlayStation 4 is where really the whole PlayStation's about first party absolutely is a PlayStation 4. Listen, I've been playing PlayStation for a long time. I was there, the PlayStation 1, and a lot of us has. This whole first party aspect of PlayStation, that mindset did not really come and be created until PlayStation 4. That's why I don't understand the complaints about where's the first party. That was never a mentality for PlayStation. For PlayStation, the mentality was just simply exclusives. It didn't matter who made it. People bought PlayStation for their exclusives. That means when Grand Theft Auto 3 was exclusive to PlayStation, that was the reason why people bought a PlayStation. Because Grand Theft Auto 3 was exclusive. Devil May Cry was exclusive. Final Fantasy was exclusive. Metal Gear was synonymous with PlayStation. Metal Gear Solid 1, even though Metal Gear franchise started on Nintendo, Metal Gear Solid 1, that unity was set. Kojima and PlayStation, it was a wrap. That's why in the console wars or whatever, when Kojima goes on Xbox stage, I think it was at E3, if you remember the tap, that was a big deal. Oh my God, Kojima on Xbox. It's because he was associated with PlayStation for such a long time. PlayStation was just about exclusives, period. Whether it came from first party, second party, third party, that's it. PlayStation had the exclusives. It wasn't until PlayStation 4 where the first party really stepped up. You saw the signs of them stepping up in the PlayStation 3 era, primarily Naughty Dog. And then you saw a bit more titles and you saw more titles. But look at the chart. The chart is here. It was primarily the PlayStation 4 where the whole first party, big bangers, biggest sellers really began, right? If you look past the top 10, Gran Turismo 4, PlayStation 2, Gran Turismo, PlayStation 1. Again, it's Gran Turismo 4. You don't see any other first party on here, right? The Last of Us, PlayStation 4. Ghost of Tsushima, PlayStation 4, 5. Uncharted Collection. Look how crazy it is, right? Naughty Dog's top 10 game didn't appear until Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us, right? And this is the PlayStation 4 version, not even the PlayStation 3. If you look at The Last of Us PlayStation 3, it's not even in the top 20, right? PlayStation's dominance, or the thought of, the fever for PlayStation first party, began with the 4. Before that, it was just all about exclusives. Doesn't matter who made it. Bought a PlayStation, you buy a PlayStation, what exclusives it have? Oh, you got Silent Hill, you got Metal Gear, you got Final Fantasy, you got Grand Theft Auto, you got Devil May Cry, and you got this, and you got that, you got Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain. Oh, I'm getting a PlayStation. Got all the exclusives. Then that mentality and argument of console was shifting to PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation 4 exclusives, the biggest bangers, was like, yo, it's the PlayStation first party. Mainly because some of the biggest bangers of third party became multi-plat. When you look at these sales from PlayStation, there's only a few games that can rival, let's say, Horizon Zero Dawn. How many games can rival Horizon Zero Dawn sales? There's not a lot, right? You might look at, right? And the ones you name, they rival the sales because they're multi-plat. So you're using the combined sales of multiple systems to compete with an exclusive, right? And you're looking at the Grand Theft Autos, you're looking at The Witcher, which is multi-plat, right? Cyberpunk, Call of Duty, right? FIFA. You're looking at IPs, licensed IPs, and big multi-plats, right? But there is a lot of games, a lot of multi-plats Horizon Zero Dawn outsold. A lot, And those games are multi-plats, right? So PlayStation 4 started this fever of Sony PlayStation first party because some of these games were just phenomenal, right? Horizon Zero Dawn is a phenomenal game. God of War, phenomenal. Spider-Man, phenomenal. Uncharted 4, phenomenal. Last of Us. Some people say Last of Us is the greatest game of all time. But, you know, that's the Last of Us fan, right? But we heard it. Now, I'm not saying that the argument's true. I'm just saying we just heard that, right? Okay? PlayStation 4 just started that fever. But for the most part, you know, it's always been, let me zoom in, just multiplats, right? Like, look at Crash Bandicoot. Everybody's like, oh, Crash Bandicoot was huge, and it was. But it's in the 23rd. PlayStation 1, you know, Bloodborne surprisingly does well, you know. The whole point is this, right? And I say this to say that PlayStation first party has always been, you know, an important aspect. Always. Don't let these haters try to tell you PlayStation first party don't matter. It's just Call of Duty. They are only saying that because they cannot accept reality. They cannot accept a world where their brand actually doesn't meet the mark, and that their brand and the exclusives their brand makes isn't good enough, doesn't really attract gamers. They can't accept that reality, right? They have to say, no, it's got to be something else, because the games I like, you know, it's not possible that there's only a few of us that likes my game. It's got to be something else. So in their mind, they're thinking, oh, it's really about Call of Duty. Yeah, that makes sense. Now I know why my brand, you know, the one I prefer, isn't preferred by everyone else. Is because they're just picking the other brand because of Call of Duty. That's lunacy, right? So what I'm telling you guys is this. They are going to use flat earther strategies. They're just going to make up nonsense. They're already talking about, you know, PlayStation first, you know, single player games don't make money. So Sony's going to fail if they keep down that direction. Now think about how stupid that argument is. Because let's say if PlayStation, right, cannot be successful making single player games, then what is CD Projekt Red going to do? Because CD Projekt Red doesn't have gas games. They just make single player games. And they don't have other revenue streams like PlayStation. They don't have money transaction revenue streams. They don't have the 30% cut, like or at least to the levels that the PlayStation have. They don't have those things. They don't have those extra revenue in gaming like PlayStation does. They don't have console hardware where they make money. They don't have peripherals where they make money. They don't have none of that. They live and die off of single player games. So what are all these other developers who primarily make single player games going to do? What is Remedy going to do? Remedy makes single player games. They don't have gas. All they make is single player games. What is Remedy going to do? You see what I'm saying? There's so many developers out there that primarily are single player driven studios. How are they going to succeed in the long term? Is CD Projekt Red, are they going to go gas? Is The Witcher done? Is Future Subject, is all that, are they going to just shift over to gas? You see what I'm saying? You see why it's silly to hear these conversations and stuff? It's absolute silly nonsense. So I'm telling you, for the PlayStation, I'm telling you guys, these haters, they're gonna adopt the flat earther strategy they already have. I'm already seeing more nonsense right now. Now you just see complete nonsense, right? They're gonna join forces. They're gonna believe in this nonsense because they can't accept reality, and they're gonna try to pull you into these arguments. And I'm telling you, you're not gonna win these arguments. You cannot win a debate or even have an actual good conversation when the conversation is nonsense to begin with. It is complete nonsense to begin with. It's already a failed project, right? At this point, though, so what can we do forward? The best thing you can do forward, right, is play the games, right? And that's the energy. There's no more conversations going forward. The conversation's over. Now it's time to put in the work, right? Even though we all been playing games, whatever, now we just have to go all in on that, right? So for me, how am I going to kick off 2024? I'm going to start. I'm going to get the $10 upgrade for The Last of Us 2 remastered. Why? Because God of War Valhalla. When I play God of War Valhalla, right, in the roguelike gameplay, that shit was fun. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And a similar mode is provided for the $10 upgrade. I want to play that. And I'm going to play it. And while I'm playing that, guess what the haters are going to do? They're going to go on Twitter. They're going to go on my comment section of videos. And they're just going to complain. Because their brand got nothing for them. So I'm going to play the remaster. And I'm going to play that new mode. I'm just going to enjoy it. And then after that, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink comes out. I'm going to play that. And the haters are going to complain. Oh, it's not first party. Oh, I don't like JRPGs. I'm going to be playing it. And I want to shout out to Jay Barry for putting me onto that. Jay Barry put me on to a lot of great content that PlayStation have. You know, granted, they don't have the best marketing, but he's all about PlayStation. He's the one that put me on to Tales of Arise, and I absolutely enjoyed it, right? And when I saw the gameplay for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, I'm like, that looks outstanding. And again, it's content that, you know, if you enjoy PlayStation, one of the big fans, you know, being a big fan of PlayStation for some of us is the JRPGs. So why wouldn't you enjoy JRPGs if you like JRPGs? Grand Blue Fantasy, I'm going to be playing that. And while I'm playing that, the haters are going to complain because they got nothing else to do on their brand. Then after Grand Blue Fantasy, and hopefully I'll be able to beat it in time, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. One of the top games you'll get to play on PlayStation. I don't see any other brand releasing a game in that time window of such big caliber that's exclusive to their platform. That's going to be the biggest exclusive of the year. And I'm going to play it. A lot of us going to play it. Guess what the haters going to do? They're just going to go online, cry, flat earther, all that stuff. And then after that, I'm going to get Rise of Ronin. Team Ninja. Love their gameplay. Guess what haters are going to do? They're going to keep crying and stuff like that. Some of you, you're going to be playing Helldivers too. I'm not going to be playing it because I don't see myself investing time in multiplayer games. You know, to really make fun, you have to connect with other people. You want to play with that. I'm just not going to have the leverage to, you know, hook up with other gamers in the community, whatever, and play it. I need games that allows me the freedom movement to play games. So that's why I've been very single player focused, because I could play a single player game anytime when I want to play it. While a multiplayer game, you have to accommodate and link up and get everybody on board. And I don't have the bandwidth for that. But many of you, you're going to be playing Helldivers too. You're going to link up with your friends. You're going to link up with the community, and you're going to have a great time. And while you guys have a great time, guess what the haters are going to do? They're going to jump on your timeline, or they're going to jump on your comment section, and they're just going to complain. And that's all we're really going to see, you know, at least for the first couple of months, until finally they get the games they want to play. And maybe they could stop complaining because now they actually got something to play on their platform. So the best advice I could tell you is, listen, the gen is done. There's really nothing to argue about. It's over. Listen, the stadium's empty. The World Cup is over. There's nobody's in Indian Stadium. The team's not there. They're back to training. The event's over. There's nothing to discuss. You know, you got to wait until the next 4 years for the next World Cup to decide who's going to be the winner. This decision's done. Now it's all about the games and stuff. Now, of course, there's other things like the PlayStation 4 Pro. I mean, the PlayStation 5 Pro, but that's not going to move the needle. That's again, the train's already left the station. The only thing the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to do is just provide a better experience for people who are on PlayStation. And then, of course, there's going to be some shit, you know, some trash talking. But the trash talking, you know, you're being a dead horse. The horse is dead. Or, you know, unless you're trying to make glue, what are you really trying to accomplish, right? And again, who are you going to talk shit to? Like, if you're going to talk trash about the PlayStation 5 Pro, who's your audience? You're talking to an audience that adopted a flat earther strategy. So you're not going to win. You're not going to do nothing. They're not going to accept reality. So it falls on deaf ears, right? So at this point, trains at the station, you're going to be doing one of two things in 2024. You're either going to be playing or you're going to be complaining. That's it. Are you playing or are you complaining? That's it. It's as simple as that. Everything's locked in. Nothing's drastically is going to change. So you're either playing or you're going to spend your time complaining. And that's it. I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing and we're going to be doing this stuff right here. But anyway, you let me know what you're going to do. Are you a complainer or are you going to be playing? And that's really what it comes down to. Nothing else matters no more. This generation's locked. It's done for. 2024 is here. Whatever was supposed to happen either did or it didn't. Now we're just coasting, playing the games that's available to us, and then looking forward to more announcements for new games. That's all you're going to get out of this gen. But you let me know what you think. Hit up the comment section. Your only friend is YouTube Streets PorterRock77. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, stick around. Gonna have an amazing 2024. I want you guys to be part of it. So if you're listening to this video for the first time, hit the subscribe button. I want you to be part of the journey. That's it. Hit the like, subscribe, and let's get this going. 2024 is coming. If you enjoy PlayStation, this is the channel to be in. All right. Your only friends, YouTube Streets PorterRock77, and I'm out of here. Peace.
Grand opening, grand closing.